Welcome, 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 everyone, to another edition of Down South Sports Fanatics. Boy, we got a show to talk about today, man. We're gonna join. Look, we're gonna dive in it all today. But look, Patty, make sure you unmute the voice right quick before I introduce him. But of course, I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Pacho Gonzalez. What's up, Pete?
What's up, man? It's not a good week, man.
It's all right. It's all right. And of course, the voice himself. Everybody knows the voice of New Orleans. What's up, Mr. Dave Robin?
What's going on, guys? We got a lot to talk about. I think the blame could go a lot of places in this one.
I gotta make it through. I'm losing my voice.
I hear you.
So let's dive into it, man. Listen, very, very disappointing loss, man. We thought it would be close, but we thought we would pull out at the end, but of course that didn't happen. So many things to dive into. What went wrong? What could have went? What could have? I mean, I'm at a loss of words right now. So I'm gonna get my boy P, who gives the the truth behind everything. What you think, P? You were there with me. What's going on, brother?
Man, a whole lot of disappointment. It's stagnant football, man. It's like watching paint dry. It's just a stagnant mosquito water, just watching the same damn thing, man. No urgency. Derek Carr don't have the dog in him whatsoever. I mean, again, you could throw for 300-400 yards. But if you don't put points on the board, you're doing a whole lot of nothing.
Empty calories, bro. Empty calories.
I mean, yeah, it's just padded stats. So basically, that's how it's going.
So basically, Jameis Winston that year, he threw for 5,000 yards.
I'm not bringing him up. I
just want to get that out the way because he won 7 games that year.
Yeah, but again, you can't. You got to do more than what Derek Carr's putting up. You can.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Hold on. Go ahead.
I mean, it's poor play calling, but it's worse execution. So you only can throw the ball or hand the ball off to AK so many times. You have to you got 2 of the best top 20 wide receivers in the league, and they just there just for decoys. You're throwing the ball to Taysom Hill more than you're throwing it to your receivers. I mean, it's hopefully we get Williams back this week, and kind of put some more air in the backfield,
Yeah, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
All right. So, I mean, to me, look, dude, like I said, I'm not the guy. I'm not the Derek Carr president of his fan club here. But listen, let's be real, man.
That's debatable.
The play call is absolutely terrible. The play calling, listen, and I'm going to tell you this. You lost the game in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you the biggest play that changed that entire game, I don't see enough people talking about it on Facebook. I see blame for the defense. I see blame for Derek Carr. And look, dude, I'm not pinning on one individual, but I mean, if anybody who watched that entire game, the biggest play of that game was Zach Bond. What happened on that play? That changed everything. I don't care what anybody says. One play like that can decide a football game that's close. Zach, I'm not here to piss on Zach, but he's got to go down right there. You're a linebacker running in a crowd of defenders. You're already on their side of the field. Stop trying to get too much there. You give Stroud the ball back. They go score a touchdown. Listen, if you take the football over right there, you're on like the 40-yard line. You go score a touchdown. You have all the momentum early on in this game. The home team just turned it over for the first time. You got, a lot of things going on positive. What do? You give the ball right back to them, and they go score 7 points. Huge momentum swing early in that ball game. I think that was the biggest play of the game, honestly. But I'm going to get to the Derek Carr thing. So here's to me why it's more of a play calling issue than anything else. Mm-hmm. So C.J. Stroud, look, I like C.J. Stroud, good young quarterback. He completed less than 50% of his passes. He threw for barely half the yards that Derek Carr threw for in this game. And here's the problem I have. And when I talk about play calling, I'm going to bring up things, and I'm not getting to the Winston, Hill, all those debates, but I'm going to throw this out there. Play calling. Jameis Winston in week 1, 2021 versus Green Bay, 140 yards passing, had 5 touchdowns. Okay, 4 of those came inside the 8-yard line. Teddy Bridgewater, I'm going to throw a number out there. Mm-hmm. Teddy had 9 touchdown passes in 5 games as a Saints starter. He went to Carolina the following year. In a full season, he threw 15 freaking touchdowns. Okay, so to me, when you talk about Sean Payton play calling versus a generic play caller in Carolina versus what we have now, listen, man, when you're putting up 350-something yards and you're completing almost 70% of your passes, let's be real. The interception, man, it was bullshit. It was the end of the game. It was the last play. But let's be real. Throw the interception up there. 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 353 yards, 68%, whatever it was, completion. You've got to get more out of that. And some of that is on Carr. Some of it's on the O-line that got penalized a ton. But some of it most of it has to freaking fall on Pete Carmichael. I'm sorry, dude.
Okay, well, let me look. I'll let y'all speak.
So I want a response to that part of it.
Okay, here's the deal. You want a response to what, Dave?
I want a response to how can C.J. Stroud go 14 of 27 for 177 yards? They scored 20 points. How can Teddy Bridgewater have 9 touchdown passes with a similar yards per game?
Because your defense was giving up 5-point-something yards a carry.
Oh, no, absolutely, Rich. Absolutely, dude. Run defense is one of the 3 biggest reasons we lost this game. And I know they didn't go crazy on us, but it is. Absolutely.
One quarterback had a running game, one quarterback didn't. That was obvious.
Over a full yard and a half more per carry. And to me, that's a big difference.
C.J. Stroud took what it had what it took to put a W on the board.
But why? What do you need? Whoa, I don't want to hear like he wanted it more, nothing like that. Dave,
I had people.
Listen, Rashid Shaheed saved an INT, a second INT on that comeback. So you can't do that. Was a terrible thrown ball.
Why do we sit here? My thing is this, Dave. Why do we sit here week in, week out, and always are saying, why does he continuously keep overthrowing Olave?
I don't think the ball in the end zone. Look, I'll give Patrick.
There's no connection there at all. None.
No, there's not. They're lacking chemistry, no doubt about it. Because I'm gonna tell you what happened on one of these plays. Now, look, the miss. I fault Carr on 2 things in this game.
I'm waiting, and I'm serious, and I hope it doesn't come because I don't like bad sportsmanship. But I'm waiting for one day Olave is gonna rip Carr and new ass on that sideline in public. Watch.
Well, here's my problem, though. Something could be said about Chris Olave. This is a guy that had 2 drops last week, had 2 penalties on him last week.
He was wide open twice on the play.
No. He missed them, though. But hold on. Okay, so what are we're not talking about the end zone play missing him, right? Because I can tell you what happened. Seeing that game at home versus in the stands.
I was talking on the sideline when Carr ran to the right, and and Olave put his hand up, and Carr didn't even see him. Carr didn't even see him.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, look, receivers get missed sometimes when quarterbacks under pressure. Shit happens. I mean, but look, I'll give you that. He missed the Rashid throw underthrown. The miss on Olave early in the ballgame in the first half, it was maybe a 15 to 20-yard out route. He missed him badly on that. And I don't know. I'm not going to blame it. It was bad footwork. I'm not going to blame the pressure because you got to make that throw in the NFL. So I'm all on Derek Carr about that.
Ryan commented, why are we throwing the ball on 3rd and 1 constantly?
I completely fucking agree. I also completely agree. Why the hell are we running that play to Kamara on 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7? That screen.
Why you running Tate? You putting Taysom at a quarterback at 1st and 10.
Why? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Terrible.
Everything's wrong with that, dude.
What's wrong with it? Give me one reason why it's a bad idea.
Everything is wrong with that.
You lose 3 yards. That's what's wrong with it.
Well, I mean, it's 3 yards because I mean it's stale fucking play call, and you everybody knows what's coming.
I hate to say it because I like Taysom Hill. I would like to see a game without Taysom Hill.
Y'all out y'all's fucking minds. I'm telling you, like Taysom Hill's on this team. This team wins 2 games the rest of this year.
And I think a lot of players on that team feel the same way.
Oh, come on, Rich. I don't buy that one bit. He was your most valuable player possibly last season.
I'm gonna tell you one thing right now, and you can say what you want, David. I know it's for a fact because it came out of his mouth. Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill does not like each other. Fact.
Oh man, it's fine. I mean, Alvin. Look, I mean that's great. Who's Alvin Kamara? He won't be here in 2 years.
Neither will Taysom Hill.
He might not be. I think he's got a better shot than Alvin Kamara, though. In my
who's getting paid? Who's getting paid and who's not?
They're both getting paid.
I'm mad.
Stop.
I'm mad.
What do you mean? Taysom Hill's making.
Are you sitting there telling me you think Taysom Hill's more important in his offense than Alvin Kamara?
No, I'm not. I never said that one time. I'm just saying I don't really care if they don't like each other. I mean, there's probably players. A lot of guys. I know Michael Thomas didn't like Jameis Winston. So what are we talking about here? Listen, here's my thing about this. Okay, I mean, we really don't know. All we know is what we hear when Twitter throws us out.
Because and I mean, we're not going to talk about each other. I get it. But
let me go to play.
What Poncho was saying this. What Poncho was saying is true. You put Taysom Hill in there, you're taking out another skill position player. So who are you taking out?
So let me ask you this: if Taysom doesn't catch those 7 passes that gets us like 2 scoring drives, what are you doing right there?
You throw it to Mike Thomas. You throw
okay, so let me ask you: you think he's selectively not throwing to these guys? These guys aren't getting open. It was the same thing we talked about with Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston last year.
He's not, dude. You put your ball.
Are we saying Olave now all of a sudden is turned into a great receiver?
No, Olave's not having. Listen, Olave's a great talent, no doubt, but he's had some mistakes these last couple of weeks as well. So let's not put
Olave's only as good as his quarterback. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Richie, he had 2 drops the previous week with 2 false start calls.
Come on,
the ball
man.
in the end zone this week, he's not even looking for the football. That should have been a touchdown.
You know what? I'll give you. Look, that ship is sailed with Jameis. I'll give you that. But Damon, I tell you right now, Andy Dalton was playing better at this point than Derek Carr. I don't care what nobody says.
Andy Dalton. Look, Andy Dalton and Carr were about 1-1. And that's a sad thing. So we got to figure out.
Olave was having a better season right now than he was last year.
Well, I mean, I don't really care what Olave does. I'm talking about the whole team in general. I mean, his stats could go down and we win, and I'm okay with that.
What do you mean you don't care what he does?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I don't care. His stats don't have to mirror what they did last year for us to win. We got Michael Thomas back. You've got other weapons. I'm saying Olave has to produce, but some of that's on him as well. You got to be looking for the football in that play in the end zone. You can't drop passes. You can't have false starts at the receiver position. You got a lot of things going on. Let me get back to the C.J. Stroud thing. So what made C.J. Stroud more effective going 14 of 27 for 177 yards?
Because he kept moving the ball with his feet. How many rushing? I mean,
what do you mean kept moving the ball with his feet? He had no freaking pressure all game on him. Carl Granderson was the only guy that had pressure on him.
He was making plays. What final thing he was making plays outside the pocket when Derek Carr wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his style of quarterback. Tom Brady never made a damn play outside the pocket in his life. He's the best quarterback of all time.
Lattimore got his lunch taken.
That's what we're sitting here. So we're just simply saying C.J. Stroud will probably do better behind his offensive line than Derek Carr would, is what we're saying.
Oh, no. I mean, nobody's disputing that. I mean, but that's we're talking cockamamie things here. We got to talk about how to fix this team. I mean, look.
Dave, you keep saying we got to fix this team. At some point, whether you want to believe it or not, at some point, I'm telling you right now, they're going to have to make a change at quarterback.
Wait, listen, guys.
It's not happening.
Hey, Dave, if you're going to blame it on the defense, where's the defense ranked right now in the NFL?
I didn't blame it on the defense. I said the run defense was bad last game.
Okay.
I mean, if you hold Stroud on the 50% passing.
I disagree with you there, Pancho.
Let me ask you this, though, but the run defense was getting blown up in the middle quarters. If anybody watched that game, they were getting 6 or 7 yards before the first defender was even around. Dude, the offensive line was pushing our guys around. The linebackers were nowhere to be found. Those middle quarters.
But the fact that you put up 10 points a game, you're satisfied with that, right? You're good.
Who's putting up 10 points a game? That's not our average per game.
Well, that's what Derek Carr's putting up. Not even that.
Well, I mean, look, you know what's funny?
The game we scored 24. The defense scored.
Okay, well, let's just say this.
How many touchdown passes Derek Carr has in a year? How many TDs he's got right now?
I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give the 4.
What is that, like 4?
I'm gonna give the 4 to you, Dave. But you can't say Pete Carmichael's name. What's wrong with the Saints offense?
I mean, well, if I can't say Pete Carmichael, I mean, why are we even fucking having a podcast?
Because all he does is call it. Like Pancho said, all he does is
call the plays. The most important fucking thing. So let's go back to my monologue in the beginning of the show. Teddy Bridgewater throws 15 touchdown passes. All y'all wanted Teddy to be the next guy with the Saints. And I got nothing against Teddy. I think he's a fine backup quarterback. But this guy had a nice run. 5 games, had 9 touchdowns with Sean Payton calling freaking plays. We go to Carolina. We got an inferior play caller. He throws 15 freaking touchdowns all season as a starter the following year. We see Jameis Winston throw 120 yards or whatever it was against Green Bay and have 5 touchdowns. That's something with play calling there, man. I'm sorry.
Listen, we talk in Pancho, even Fatty, me, several people at this game. You are the only person that thinks that Derek Carr is playing good football.
I didn't say. Did I ever say he was playing good football?
You're not placing blame on
No,
him.
I'm not saying he's not the biggest reason you were losing games. You're making mistakes everywhere. Let's talk about Rashid Shaheed not fielding the punt, putting us inside the 5-yard line when he had plenty of time to field that punt.
Hey,
Let's talk about the deep run defense. Let's talk about the penalties.
What? Go ahead, Pancho.
It's sloppy play all over the place.
The last 6 games, tell me the offensive output. How many points is the offense responsible for?
Okay, how many touchdown passes Carr has?
Listen,
I want to answer that question. Let's pull up that number.
Listen, if the Patriots didn't score, it was on Tom Brady. If the Bengals don't score, it's on Joe Burrow.
Yep.
If you have to put the blame where blame is due, execution.
Everybody else does it, Dave. He's right. Everybody does it.
So no, that's fine.
Listen,
okay.
The Philadelphia Eagles lost.
If we were losing 35 to 36 every week or 35 to 40 every week, I wouldn't be bitching at that.
Why is the narrative more about why is the narrative?
All right, Jay, let's do this. Philadelphia lost that game because Jalen Hurts played bad. 49ers lost because Brock Purdy played bad. Is that fair?
Yeah, they're part of the problem. Absolutely. I never said Derek Carr wasn't part of it. It's a lot of what I'm trying to say. It's not singular to Derek Carr. Anybody who thinks it is don't know what the fuck they're watching.
Because we spent a lot of money on Derek Carr. And we spent
shit. I mean, but you're not going to replace him now. You're not sitting him for Jameis freaking Winston who came in and didn't even score all half. You're not sitting him for Taysom Hill.
It would make me happy if they sit him. It would make me happy if they sit him. It would make me happy.
So it makes you happy, but what does it achieve? You're paying him $30-something million. Listen,
who knows what
he has to be better.
Who knows what it achieves? Who knows what
he has to be better. He has to be better.
Worse.
I want to drop some stats on you. Andy Dalton, up to this point last year, he only had 3 starts. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception out of 3 games. So he wasn't no bit better.
Right.
Another thing y'all brought up too, Richie was saying, y'all talking about Carr, and I brought it up a couple weeks ago. When Carr gets focused on one receiver, he stays with that receiver all game, and he showed that this week with Taysom Hill, especially on one drive. The only person he threw to on this whole drive out of, I think, I want to say 7 passes, Taysom got 5 in a row.
Exactly.
And it's like, wait, why is Taysom getting this many passes? That's not. He shouldn't be getting that many passes unless they're trying to set something up. But they're not.
The Saints cannot. No, the last. First of all, at the skill position, Taysom Hill should be the 5th player on your team.
I could go with that.
I mean, look, Richie, I mean, here's my thing. I mean, listen, Taysom's extremely valuable to this team. Now, am I saying I'm targeting him more than Michael Thomas? No, that shouldn't be happening. But
you're targeting him more than Olave.
Olave was our leading receiver, I want to say, of the day. He had 95 yards, didn't he? Something like that.
Dave, Olave is a top 10 receiver in the NFL right now. And you're not giving
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way.
All right, put it like this.
I'll name 10 right now.
10. He has the potential to be the top 10 if he had the
He has potential to be top 10, but he's not a top 10 receiver in this league right now.
I would take Olave over Amon St. Brown right now.
No way. You smoking rope,
I would say he's not a top 10 just for the fact
you don't think Olave's better than St. Brown?
Absolutely, not even close. No.
What?
It's hard to say because it's the quarterback that's not helping him.
Exactly.
Last
year he wasn't a top 10 receiver either. I mean, let's be real. He wasn't a top 20 receiver last year. I tell you what, you put Olave in a trade market right now, you get a 1st-round pick for him. Guarantee right now. I don't know. I'm not sure about the guy. But listen, listen, man, the problem is this.
Are you taking Goff or are you taking Derek Carr?
But why are we getting – of course, Goff is like a top 3 or 4 quarterback the way he's playing right now. I'd take Goff over Jalen Hurts. I'd take Goff over Jalen Hurts, honestly.
Goff was
traded come on now, Dave.
Right now, go look at the numbers Derek Carr – Jared Goff's putting up right now. Go look at their numbers. I think you'd be surprised.
All right, then I guess you would take – did that saying you would take Goff over Joe Burrow right now?
No, because Burrow's a better quarterback.
Wait, fair,
Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback.
No, not than Joe Burrow. No,
no, better than Goff.
But hey,
I don't know. I think I'm taking Goff right now, man.
Well, Richie, let's look at the bigger picture here.
Go ahead.
Even the supposedly great quarterbacks are not having good years this year.
Nope, they're not.
Including Patrick Mahomes.
Fatty's right on. What Fatty's saying right there. That's why I wanted y'all to answer. How many touchdown passes Carr has right now?
Jason Whitlock. Y'all go ahead. I'm going to go find it. I want y'all to see it.
Fatty's right on.
The thing
is right on this. How many touchdown passes Carr has? 5 on the year?
He's got 5 on the year, yes.
So guess what? Trevor Lawrence, we were ready to anoint Trevor Lawrence the top 5 quarterback. Somebody said it before the season started. You know how many he has right now? And he's got I would say he's got a better group of pass catchers than the Saints have.
God, what?
You don't think that Jacksonville has a better group collectively than what the Saints do as far as catching the football?
First of all, they don't have an Olave on their team, period.
No, but they got Calvin Ridley, they got Christian Kirk, they got Zay Jones, they got Evan Ingram, they got Travis Etienne. I'm just saying, this is the best group of receivers as far as pass catchers overall on an offense that we faced all year.
The thing about it is the issue that you have, and I get it, you don't want Carr to be benched because you don't want Jameis in there.
No, I mean, it's not even an option. I think it's laughable to even come to that. But the point, I'm not worried about the problem. Okay, here's my reason why you can't do anything with Derek Carr.
I agree with you, but I think it's laughable with you paying this guy this money, and he's not even a top 25 quarterback right now.
Well, I mean, listen, but here, back to my question. Let me get back to y'all just totally threw off my point about Trevor Lawrence. So Carr's got 5 touchdowns. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence, one of you guys, it wasn't me. I like Trevor Lawrence, but one of y'all had him as a top 5 quarterback, and I don't know which one. It was either you two or Chris that had him as a top 5 quarterback. Well, how many touchdown passes he has this year?
7.
I can tell you if you want to know. 6.
He's got
6
7.
touchdowns.
He's got 7.
I don't know where the 7th came from. I just saw 6 today, but even 7. Okay, so fine, 7.
But you
So 2 more touchdowns.
How many rushing touchdowns has he got?
Dave, why do you go to stats instead of doing the eyeball test?
Well, I mean, the eyeball test tells me that we're making fucking stupid play calls. When you go into Alvin Kamara on 3rd and 7 and you're throwing a screen to the wide side of the field behind the line of scrimmage, that's not Derek Carr making that play call.
But if you think Derek Carr is dropping back and looking good passing the ball, that's false, dude.
Dude, okay, so look, Richie. Look, what do you consider a good completion percentage?
I have no confidence in Derek Carr right now. Zero.
I mean,
Zero.
I've got more confidence in him than I have Pete Carmichael. Let's put it that way.
I have no confidence in either one of them. I will be running both out of town.
Listen, and here's my thing. When y'all got to take what I'm saying is, I'm not saying not to draft a quarterback. I'm not saying that this might be his 1 year as a starter and he might be benched for a rookie in week 4 next year. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not going all Jameis Winston crazy like people did for mediocre numbers. Listen, I'm not going nuts like that. I'm just telling you he is the best option we have this season. Jameis has showed nothing but shit since week 1 in 2021. He looked like dog shit in the Green Bay game. The dude comes in the game after, throws one pass, it's picked off. It's absolutely not going to work.
So what you're telling me is
Jay Kaner is not ready yet.
Even if you're saying teams because their quarterback's playing bad, if he's the only option they got to stick with him, is what you're saying.
I think, Daniel Jones isn't going to get benched in New York if he's healthy. He's hurt right now.
Listen, look.
But Richie, Mac Jones is possibly the worst starting quarterback in the league. He's still got the job. You got to try to let these guys figure it out. Listen, you're married to Carr this year, whether you like it or not. Mickey Loomis and all these guys in the front office, they didn't just offer this guy $100 million of freaking money to put him as a backup quarterback. They're going to justify it, and they're going to try to fix the problem what's going on. Right, I think Pete Carmichael is more the problem.
Go ahead, Fatty.
I'm going to play like a minute or two. So I just want to get the context of it.
Go ahead.
Pretending like it's blue chip. They want football fans to believe that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, and all the rest are the second coming of Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino, and John Elway. Not true. You have to actually practice to play at the level of the all-time greats. You can't build a cohesive offensive line if you don't practice. You can't establish a consistent and reliable running game if you don't practice. The players don't care about the product. They care about their brands and their money. They're entitled. They feel sorry for themselves. I don't blame them. They watch and listen to sports talk shows and podcasts that paint them as victims and treat them as idols above criticism. The people analyzing the game are liars. They won't tell you what they see, what's obvious. The game is in rapid decline. Most of the quarterbacks simply cannot read a defense. You learn to read a defense in practice. Teams no longer practice. You don't need to read a defense or firmly grasp the playbook in order to excel or get paid in the modern NFL.
Yep.
The coaches tape the plays to the wrist of the quarterback and then tell the quarterback what to do in an earpiece installed in his helmet. You don't have to win in the postseason to secure a major contract. Every starting NFL quarterback eventually gets paid. The problem is only going to get worse. College quarterbacks are now earning millions of dollars through name, image, and likeness deals. You can secure a high six-figure deal before you even play a college game. The entitlement and brattiness of the players are major turnoffs. Athletes are as unlikable and as difficult to relate to as Hollywood actors. Football is trending in the wrong direction. The product is awful. The referees exercise more influence over outcomes than anyone on the field. Fantasy sports and gambling will only mask the uninspiring play for so long. The smartest guys in football are just as stupid as the smartest guys at Enron. That's my fire start.
He's absolutely true.
I think we could all agree maybe on that. At least I do. I'm with it.
Early on, I wanted to get the whole thing, but he was talking about how in practice they don't practice no more. They don't hit no more. They can't. Right. I mean, there's no practice.
Listen, they got more. Listen, I agree, and everybody knows I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan. He needs to practice more instead of doing so many damn commercials he's in now.
Like your boy from USC.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about him. I don't want
At least Mahomes is good, man.
We can talk about Caleb, Shadir Sanders, all of them. Look at them. I mean, all of them.
Hey, I'm about to get off, but I seen a thing this weekend on, I don't remember what game it was for. They had Shador ranked number 3 prospect coming out of college. Do y'all believe that? And
I think he's top.
Fields at 9.
Not even close.
Oh wait, who's that now?
Yeah, Justin Fields at 9 and Shakur, whatever his fucking name is,
Shador.
Shador, whatever. Fucking
Shador Sanders.
I would say he's top
and
5 coming out of college.
Funkadelic, I don't know. Yeah, him.
Quarterback?
Yeah, I agree with Pancho there. I think he's definitely top 5. I'll agree with Pancho there.
He really? I don't think he's ready. I really don't think he's ready. I think what you've seen is a little flash, but I don't think he's ready. Justin Fields is the most underrated quarterback right now in college football, and it's sad.
Who?
Not Justin Fields.
Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had him confused for a second.
No,
I agree.
I agree with that, Fatty. I think Jaden Daniels has a great potential.
Jaden Daniels right now is the best quarterback in college football.
And they had him at 9 compared to Shador at 3. And
I think that's a little unfair. And I understand the pro prospect thing. You're not going to exactly mirror what they're doing this season in college. It's more like a collective thing. You know what I mean?
Listen, we can sit here and root for all these teams. Y'all were rooting for the great story with Colorado. I get it. I was rooting for USC, LSU, Tulane. At the end of the day, college football has become a business, and that's a fact.
No, it sucks, Richie. And I'll tell you this: I think it's going to come down to one of these Big Ten teams.
Even Pancho, look at the frustration. Look at the frustration on Pancho's face. You know it's true, Pancho. It is.
I think you got stock in the NCAA. As many different jerseys you wear, bro. You got to.
Maybe so. No, but hey, listen, guys. I want to go back to this.
Richie's has 3 college jerseys for different teams.
That's pretty fucking awesome, man. Because I don't think I own a college jersey. I'm not gonna lie.
Me either.
Now I've got MLB jerseys. You know, I know Richie don't watch the MLB too much, so maybe that's where we kind of have the trade off.
I watched baseball when Sammy Sosa and
there you go,
dude. Sammy Sosa, he's not even recognizable anymore.
No, dude, he's definitely like, I don't know what happened there. If it's a skin condition, if it's a thing going wrong with the experiment, I don't know.
Listen, go ahead,
to go back on the Houston game, on Dave's take of what went wrong, and to pinpoint interception / fumble in the first quarter on a defense as a turning point of the game.
I think it was.
You be watching, dude. But
I
was in there. It sucked that he did fumble, but that was not even close to the turning point of the game.
So if you were in there and I'm 300 miles away, I think it's still the same situation, man. Listen, dude, it's great that y'all went. Kudos to y'all for going. And the Saints fans were very loud. I'll say that on TV. It was very cool to hear. It was about a half and half crowd. It felt like most of the game. But listen to me, dude. Like if you got a young quarterback. He just threw his first pick of the year, which I predicted this shit. I'm just going to pat myself on the fucking back real quick because I did say last week he was making his first turnover against the Saints. So this dude throws an interception. You take the ball over the 40-yard line. Say you go downfield, score a touchdown. When you give it right back to him, he comes off the sideline. He ain't feeling too bad about the interception. Even the announcer said that was shit. You just got the ball right back. It's a little easier to get over that first pick. Here you go, kid. Go drive and score a touchdown. And that's what he did. And to me, if you go up 7-0 there, you get the ball back first in the second half, you dictate the flow of the game a lot more. I'm just saying something that happens sometimes in the first quarter can definitely be a huge factor. I mean, let's be real, dude. I mean, they had momentum back as soon as that happened. They were right in midfield instead of us possibly being in their territory going to score a touchdown.
Like, it ain't like it was a big.
But you gave them a possession. You gave them a second chance. They turned the ball over to you, and you gave it right back. That's so.
But Dave,
we do nothing with the ball anyway.
But Dave, why we not? Somebody just asked, why are we not getting on Groupie about his misses? I mean, come on.
Oh,
man.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I mean, look, Pancho, and look, man, I'm not getting into a shouting discussion here, but Pancho was ready to kill this poor kid and send him to like another country when he missed a 46-yard on a slippery Lambeau Field surface. You're indoors, buddy.
But Pancho has a valid point, Dave.
That point kicked all kind of field goals.
But think about this. Pancho has a valid point. Ever since then, he's been inconsistent.
Hey, I'm off. My free pass was that Green Bay game because it's 46 yards. The field was slippery all game. I gave him a free pass for that reason. The free passes are gone. You missed 2 field goals. One is basically an extra point from 29 yards.
It's less than an extra point.
It's less than an extra point. No. I'm thinking you should have been. Look, if it wasn't a short week, I think they'd be working out kickers right now.
Hey, listen. So he's responsible for 9 points.
Absolutely.
He's responsible for the 2 field goals he missed, Then we went for it on 4th down because you didn't have any confidence on them.
And you got the ball down at the end of the game. Yeah.
AK gets the ball and runs out of bounds a yard short, like fucking Mark Ingram.
Poncho, no, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna give Poncho. Hold on, because Poncho.
What was the term that Peyton Manning used a long time ago? The idiot kicker.
No, there you go. Oh no, we have Mike Vanderjack. Yeah, he fucking let that dude have it. It was great. But no, Poncho. I'm gonna say this. Poncho actually made a really freaking good point right here. And for me to say that about Poncho, you know, we did our discussions. But Alvin Kamara, and Poncho's been saying this shit since the Who Dat podcast in 2018, 2019. I didn't take it too much at the time. Alvin Kamara run out of bounds, but absolutely. He had a bonehead play like that last year, and I can't remember. Him and Ingram both had it last year. But Poncho was absolutely right. He runs out of bounds a full yard and a half short when he easily could have got the first down.
I mean,
in a critical moment of the game.
It was, absolutely. And in the same way, and look, dude, and Rashid Shaheed, I'm not listening. He's a second-year guy. I really like this kid. I think he's got great potential. But why does he not field that punt? He lets that punt play him. He gets all the way inside the 5-yard line. He could have returned that punt very easily.
Can we all agree? Can we all agree? We still think it's a good defense, but can we all agree that this defense is nowhere near what it used to be?
It's
go ahead.
in the league right now.
I understand that, Pancho, but you see it, man. We never gave up run.
Listen, our defense is giving up less than 20 points a game.
I get what you're saying, but I'm talking about our run.
Listen, score more than 20.
Our run defense was top notch 3 years straight, dude. It ain't that no more.
I'm not putting any now from in between the 20s. I mean, it's been but don't break. When you get in between, like they're not scoring points against us. We're just not putting up points.
No, I said that, and I said that in the stands. I said you're not going to score more than 20 points on our defense.
Yeah, and you can go back to the last 6 games. It's 20 points every game or less.
And look, let me ask you this. I mean, here's my thing. I got the issue with, and it's not really issue. I'm not blaming the defense when I say this, but right now, here's the thing I think that sucks because I think they have all the talent to be it. Right now, you can be an elite defense, but you're more or less being a good defense. And what I mean by that is, okay, the Zach Bond play, I'm going to go to it again. Stupid freaking play. I like Zach, but stupid play. I don't know if y'all guys noticed it. Noah Brown crossing route, I want to say it was the first half of that game. C.J. Stroud hits him, and Marshawn Lattimore looked like he was just like jogging, chasing the bus or something. I mean, Noah Brown had about 6 yards of separation on a crossing pattern downfield.
Yeah.
And it looked like Lattimore was just hot dogging it.
I tell you what, I've been very disappointed in Lattimore. That's a great
Paulson Adebo couldn't cover Dalton Schultz on a key 3rd down or on that side of the field. Like, I mean, come on, it's Dalton freaking Schultz. I think one of us could possibly cover that guy. Listen,
Dave, let me tell you a quick stat. I started Dalton Schultz in 2 of my other leagues. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Schultz, other than Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, and George Kittle, has more touchdowns the last 3 years than anybody else.
Oh, we had a good year last year with Dak. Dak was hitting him in the red zone.
And he's having it again this year. He's having a touchdown every game.
No, he's a good find for Houston. He's not a guy, though, that should be beating you. I mean, we're not talking about Travis Kelce or Kyle Pitts or somebody that should be beating you downfield, though. When Paulson Adebo is getting beat by a kind of a stocky tight end, I don't really like that. As my supposedly second best corner is getting beat by a tight end.
A buddy of mine mentioned it. He just mentioned it. He just reminded me what he said at the game. He said, man, it seems like every time Michael Thomas is catching the ball, he's going straight to the ground now.
It does feel like there's no yards. He had a couple plays in the last few weeks, but no, this past game, it felt like it was just kind of – and look, dude, I don't know. Listen, man, I don't know if it's all – look, Carr's got to be better, no doubt about it, but I still have a real serious issue about the play.
Listen, I'm not putting it all on Carr. Carr has played bad, but everybody else has too.
I don't think he's – I mean, look, to me, you know what I get out of it? He's played mediocre. I would say, bad to me is Mac Jones. Yeah. Bad to me is Daniel Jones. He's just very he's like vanilla pudding. Like, he's very mediocre. I don't want to say he's bad. He's definitely not good.
I would agree with that.
I think he's just very mediocre. But the problem is when you got a dumbass calling the plays on the sideline. Listen, dude, we got so one-dimensional at certain points of that game. I think you basically the offensive line. Now I will say this: the line is in shambles. I don't know if you guys noticed it being at the game, but Cesar Ruiz was playing tackle a large part of the second half. I mean, dude, this line. I mean, it's been. And Trevor Penning, dude. I hate to say it. I don't like to call a kid a bust in year 2, but that dude looks like a certified bust right now. I tell you what, we're going to have – it's going to – I think a team – and look, it ain't just us, dude. This whole division is a dumpster fire right now. It is.
And a team – you might have a team maybe with 8 wins and 9 wins come out of this division. Maybe.
It's like it was last year. It's the same shit. Same shit.
Ain't none of these teams. And I tell you, man, it's just as a
It's
whole.
crazy that Derek Carr is making probably $100 million more than all three of them quarterbacks.
Well, it's like what Fatty
I
just
mean, look,
shared. It's like what Fatty just shared that video of where the NFL is going, and I agree with it. You're giving, to tell you how bad it's gotten. We talked about this. You give Daniel Jones $45 million a year.
Absolutely, Richie. That's a horrible. I'd take Derek Carr's contract over that any day of the week.
I mean, it just shows you where it's going. The league's going, man.
I mean, we're overpaying for quarterbacks. I mean, to me right now, if I'm the Chicago Bears, I got the top 2 picks. If somebody gives me like the ransom for Justin Fields right now, I'm starting over with a rookie quarterback. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I'm like.
He made a great point of when he said like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. You don't see that consistency in the NFL right now, man, with quarterback play.
I think the quarterback play is really shitty right now.
Even Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is very inconsistent right now.
Yeah, the quarterback play is really down this year. I don't know what the reason is. I mean, if you guys have a good point on that, I'd love to listen to it because I don't know.
It's reps. It's got to be lack of reps.
Pancho hit it just now. Yep, 100%.
I mean, it may be. I mean, I'm just saying, but it's really bad. I mean, Josh Allen looked like he was getting back on track, and he put up a freaking bad game, against the Giants.
I get his brother was playing in the game, but when have you seen an NFL player on another sideline for another team in the middle of a season? What is Travis Kelce doing at an Eagles game?
Was Taylor Swift there or what?
No, he was there supporting his brother, but still, I mean, you serious?
Right. I don't know, man.
He's got a hurt ankle. He's flying all over. He should be having rehab in his foot.
I know, and I think we're all kind of, the Taylor Swift thing is like starting to get like, it's about 1 week away from being completely irritable, I think. I think a lot of fans have already reached that point. I mean, every time he catches a pass, they show her in the stands.
You ain't heard the best. They're supposed to do, the NFL supposedly is going to do a Christmas special with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
See, that's the type of shit that makes me think that it's a fix. You know what I'm saying? When you hear stuff like that, it's almost like, I don't know, Roger Goodell led NFL. Listen, man, I've always said
as long as the Grinch shows up and ruins all that shit, I'll be happy.
There you go, man. There you go. Look, I mean, I think Roger Goodell is not a good commissioner, man. I mean, let's be real. If he lets that shit go down, I don't know, man. But we
talked about it last week. The NFL is turning into sports entertainment now.
I want to say this, and I want you guys to take on this. And I'm not blaming the refs, and I mean, listen, but man, I don't know about y'all, but that was a poorly officiated game, in my opinion, in a couple ways. I don't know. There was a pass interference late in the game. I think it was Paulson Adebo. They called a roughing the passer. I want to say maybe Carl Granderson or DeMario. I can't recall. Terrible call in the fourth quarter. Almost took us out of the game completely. But there was a play early in that game. Michael Thomas, there was incompletion in the end zone. And Michael Thomas, man, I mean, when I tell you he gets whacked, I thought at first he fell, and I looked back at it. He gets basically tackled at the goal line. And this is past the 5-yard area, and no flag on that. But I just feel like the league, man, the officiating is just really like that guy was that Jason Whitlock. The officiating they've got, it almost reminds me of the NBA back in the early 2000s after Jordan. They had too much of an effect on games.
Let me ask y'all this: if we had to vote today for a league MVP, you'd be shocked who I think my league MVP is right now.
Who is it?
Huh?
It's Tua.
I think it's Jared Goff.
I'm gonna say Jared Goff as well. I think
I'm gonna say it's Tua and everybody else, dude.
I'm gonna say Taylor Swift.
Hey, right now, look, no. Hey, Fatty's got a damn good point because I'll tell you this: she's getting eyes on the league. People that are watching the freaking Kardashians, they're tuning into Chiefs games.
Let me tell you, Dave. There is also reports, and you know how it is. It could all be burner accounts, people making stuff up. The NFL is actually considered doing a first ever jersey by a non-football player.
Dude, on the fantasy league I'm in Sleeper,
they
one of my
are thinking
dynasty
about
leagues,
doing a Swifters jersey. Can you believe?
Did you notice that she comes up as this? If any of y'all playing a Sleeper fantasy app, she comes up as this picture.
Here's your stats: 1850 and 15 touchdowns for Tua, and it's 1,611 touchdowns for Goff.
I'll say this: Tua's got more to work with.
Jerry,
that wasn't the question.
Listen to me.
No. I'm saying, but to me, I think he's MVP for that reason.
Tua had a bad game this year. Goff is not.
And Pancho, what I'm saying about he has more to work with, I think it does matter because to me, MVP is always is if you take that player off the team, what is that team without that guy? How valuable is that one guy? And I think Jared Goff brings a little more.
Dave did call it with Tyreek Hill, dude. That dude's.
Hey, y'all gonna be on me with that time. Wait, was Pancho not on that show, huh?
He is the most unstoppable player there is.
I'm telling y'all. I don't know if Pancho caught that show. I mean, he might disagree, but Pancho, you can get his take on it.
I'm telling you this. I'm calling y'all right now. You can't name, including Deion Sanders, you can't name me present, past, whatever, any cornerback that can stick Tyreek one-on-one. No way. Not one.
Yeah, well, okay, Pancho. You had some guys in that prime that could have.
No, indeed not.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Now, Pancho, let me ask you this. Where do you have him all time?
The fastest guy that ever played in the NFL.
Who's that, Tyreek?
Yeah. But where do you think he'll end up? And let's say he retires in 2 years. Where do you think he ends up in all-time scheme of things?
Top 20.
All right, so I got him top 10. That was our big conversation last week we had. I think he'll be a top 10 receiver of all time.
Yeah, I got him in my top 15.
I mean, listen, I would say he's doing what Brandon Cooks did his first couple years with us. He's doing, and you would have known it. Brandon Cooks top 10 receiver all time.
I wouldn't disagree.
No. Brandon Cooks is like a poor man's Tyreek. I like Brandon, but
I wouldn't listen. Years he was Tyreek. Yeah. He was that guy. He was no.
But Tyreek is Hill. Tyreek Hill and Brandon Cooks are different. I like Brandon Cooks. I do.
I get it. I'm trying to get to some of these comments. Jared said MVP has to be CMC.
Who's that now?
Jared said MVP has to be CMC, Christian McCaffrey.
It's a good choice. He's up there. He's definitely up there. I think. I mean, he's up there.
I mean,
I'd say top 3 or 4 probably in MVP votes right now.
I guess I would say this, Dave. When we talk about the quarterback play and everything else, how in the hell are the Jets doing it and nobody else can?
Defense, man. Defense and running the football.
So you would take the Jets defense over the Saints defense right now?
They're close. They're very close. They're very close.
How are they closer, Dave, when the Jets are doing it?
No, I'm saying they're close. They're in the same. To me, they're like in the same area.
So explain to me why the Jets winning bigger games.
Because Robert Saleh, to me, I think Robert Saleh is a much better coach than anybody we have on our staff. And it's not even close. I think you get more. Great coaches get more out of average talent or above average talent than shitty coaches do out of good talent.
I tell you what, the coach of Houston we just lost to, man, that guy.
I mean, look, Richie, let's be real. We're a more talented team than Houston, and DeMeco Ryans is a damn good coach. If you look at the stats, go look at the game stats, and if there's no way, if you didn't know what happened in that game, and you're just going up and down, time of possession, yards, first down, third down conversions, if you go down every stat line, there's no way the Saints lost that game.
Go ahead, Pancho.
So the Jets gave up 15 against the Patriots, which we gave them a goose egg.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up 21 to Broncos.
30
to the Cowboys.
Yeah, wasn't that more? We were looking at points, but I think the Cowboys in that game didn't have like 3 defensive touchdowns or something.
Got a point, but Pancho's got a point there though. We're not giving up points, and we still can't win.
No. But I don't think what I'm trying to say is that Jets game, if I'm not mistaken, that was a big bunch of defensive touchdowns and stuff like that going on. If I'm not mistaken,
I'm not sure.
The Cowboys game. I mean, the Cowboys.
Do we feel? Are we starting to feel like this team don't want to play for Dennis Allen no more?
Oh, I think it's part. Listen, man. I think I'm not. Like I said, I'm not giving Carr a free pass, but I think the bigger problem is 2 guys that are running the team. If this team had Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn as opposed to Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael, the top 2 dogs.
The problem is this. The problem is
execution.
Gail
if you're not executing the play. Again, he's calling a play. You got 4 receivers in a route. He's reading the receivers. Carmichael's not reading the receivers. Derek Carr is reading the receivers. He's throwing to who he wants to throw to. So how is that his fault?
So here's my thing. Okay, so the coach,
he's making bullshit play calls on 3-1 at 1st and 10. But other than that, it's all Derek Carr's fault.
Don't you think Derek Carr's playing still hurt?
He could be a little banged up, but I mean, it's not like he underthrew to Shaheed. He missed Olave on that throw. Listen, man, there's misfires in every NFL game.
I'm talking about just his
I don't see constant misfires. I see. If anything, and it's crazy because if you complete almost 70% of your passes, you throw for 300 yards, you're moving the ball. You only had 3 punts this whole game. So it's not like we're going out there and laying eggs on a bunch of 3 and outs. You're not finishing drives, is what you're not doing. You're not
you're missing field goals, and you're not executing fourth down.
Look, the last 2 comments is pretty accurate. The locker room's a dumpster. Execution and play calling is inconsistent.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think there might be some problems in the locker room, and I think the play calling is terrible. Here's my thing. Look, if you're going 3 and out a bunch and it's just sloppy, he's completing 52% of his passes. His touchdowns are more than his picks. I mean, more than his picks are more than his touchdowns. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If a bunch of shit's just going haywire, then I'm completely putting most of it on Carr. The problem is his numbers are not god awful. His rating is kind of like.
Well, let me.
Last time I checked, I want to say it's like almost league average.
Right.
I'm gonna give you some numbers. 183 passing yards. 127 passing yards. 103.
Whoa. Okay, go ahead.
228 passing yards and 305. So,
now remember, one of those games he left in the first half.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 games with basically 200 yards or less.
Whoa. Wait. Let's wait. Go back to the math here. How many games he has under 200 yards?
You got 3. You got one with 228.
No. Well, that's not counting it if he's got 228.
127, 103, 228.
All right, so I'm saying 2 games under 100 yards because, I mean, I can't fault the guy for getting hurt in the first half when he had 183 yards, whatever, in that game.
So one.
I think he would have threw 17 yards in the third quarter.
One of our viewers, Dave, and I agree with him. I'm sorry if you don't. I think he says I think the players want Winston to play.
I don't buy it one bit.
I do.
Nah, but if you can give me 5 reasons why you think that's a fact, and
because Dave, you failed. You don't want to realize that these guys are close with each other. I'm sorry.
Hey, they don't listen, Richie. When you get to the biggest level of sports, they don't care who's your best friend versus the guy. Listen, Derek Carr could come in there as a Satan worshiper and set a pig on fire. They don't give a shit.
It's just what Jason Willock just said. It's more about popularity than anything now. And if that's my boy, I want him to play. That's it.
I don't think Winston's everybody's boy. I mean, Michael Thomas it's been seen and heard.
Why do you not want to believe that when everybody tells you that he is the most liked player on that team?
Richie, I don't give a shit. Like I said, okay, so let me go back to this. So Mark Brunell's making everybody pies before every game. Let me get. I got to respond to this because I think it's absolutely fucking nuts that he's likable, that he's a starter. So if Mark Brunell was baking cakes for everybody and bringing in strippers before the game, and Drew Brees was worshiping Satan, cutting up squirrels in the side of the room somewhere, Drew Brees is still your starting quarterback. I'm sorry.
Dave, me and Pancho have been to camp. You haven't. We've been around these people.
What does that mean? You're hearing a conversation and I'm not?
Yeah, let me know. I'd love to hear it recorded. We see it. They don't talk to Derek Carr. Let me ask you this. So why does it? So when he played
Derek
Carr, they don't talk to Derek Carr on the sideline. I'm sorry, they don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably have more in common with Jameis. I mean, Derek's probably not the most exciting guy. I mean, he's a little different personality-wise. But I mean, let's be real. When Drew Brees was there's probably more guys. I mean, Jameis relates to a lot of guys. He's a class clown. He's a funny guy. He's a cool dude. Nobody doesn't – I don't hate Jameis as a person. He's a damn entertaining son of a bitch. But I'm saying he's not a great quarterback. Listen, dude, if they like him so much, how come they didn't score 50 points for the whole second half?
Go ahead, Pancho.
So in 21, Derek Carr had 4,800 yards, 24 touchdowns, 14 INTs. 2021, he had 3,600 yards with basically 24 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. 3,500 yards, 24 and 14. That was 22. 21, he had 4,800, 23 touchdowns. And so he hasn't put up touchdowns. Putting up 23 touchdowns a season, that's not any – dude. I mean, and you throw
I get it. I mean, but here's my thing.
Hey, you throw him for 4,800 yards and 24 touchdowns.
Okay, but here's a guy. Let me ask you this: outside of the 1 year Jameis threw for 30, when he threw for 30 picks as well that year, how many years is Jameis had a lot of team touchdown years? 19, 17, 14.
One of our viewers just put stats up. He said before Winston tore his ACL, we were 5-2. He had 14 touchdowns.
We were 4-2. He tore his ACL in that 7th game. He didn't win that game. Trevor Siemian won you that game.
He had 14 touchdowns, 2 picks.
3 picks. 14 touchdowns, 3 picks. And I'm going to tell you.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. But 5 of those touchdowns came in week 1 because Sean Payton did a hell of a job calling plays in a game that the defense dictated. Absolutely.
Who executed?
What's that?
Who executed them? Got to execute them.
Okay, let me ask you this. Go. I wish to God, Fatty. I don't know if Fatty. I know Fatty's awesome.
Derek Carr was inside the 20-yard line.
Why are we wait? Everybody, listen. Stop.
Touchdown.
All right, so can I get my point across?
Go ahead, go ahead.
I take a point. I listen to everything. And when I start talking, Poncho starts coming over.
Go ahead.
So here's my thing. I can tell you this because I studied it. Jameis Winston, 5 touchdowns, 4 of them. If we could pull up the highlights, 4 of them are inside the 10-yard line. You know what it is? It's Sean Payton having the defense off balanced. The dude had 95 yards passing in week 1 that day. How the hell? So you don't see any correlation with 95 yards and 4 touchdowns that somebody's doing a good job and it's the play call more than anything else.
So if you think Sean Payton was still a coordinator, Derek Carr would have better numbers.
I would bet over Pete Carmichael. Absolutely. I think anybody that doesn't believe that's smoking some serious shit.
Russell Wilson's knocking on the door right now.
But what are we talking about Russell Wilson for? That has nothing to do with it. I'm talking about Sean Payton when he was here. Okay, what did Jameis do last year? 4 touchdowns, 5 picks. Was terrible. Okay, so let's remove the Jameis conversation. I mean, it's a done deal.
You was throwing it to Callaway, was your number 1 receiver.
Okay, so when Michael Thomas,
Dave, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So when Taysom Hill was 7-2, all those games he had a full staff.
Dave,
he didn't have Kamara. Some of those games didn't have Michael Thomas.
I get what you're saying, but it's starting this week right now. Even with Winston talking to Kamara, nobody knows what they were talking about. Kamara saying his business. He's saying his business. If it starts to creep into that locker room, they're gonna force Dennis Allen's hand. I'm telling you right now. The players get the vote, dude. The players get the vote.
I still think y'all missed the boat. I mean, this Winston thing, dude, it's crazy that it even comes up.
If Olave said, Mr. Dave Robin, I don't care what you think, I want Winston to be my quarterback. That's my decision. That's my decision.
But what success did really Chris Olave ever have with Jameis Winston?
I'm not saying it works that way. I'm not saying it works. If he goes to the coach and says that.
No, you're a professional. You can't tell a coach what to do.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you do that, you're traded. You're traded off the team.
You give it, but you don't go up there and like AK came out and said, "Listen, pretty soon there's gonna have to be tough conversations to be had."
Absolutely.
I mean, he didn't point, but he said there's conversation like AK. But like, as much as I like him, I dislike him because he has selective hustle to me. Like again, on a 4th down. You don't run out. Like, you got to get that extra yard.
This whole team has selective hustle.
I agree, and that's why I think it's bigger than Derek Carr. I think it's silly to think that Winston's going to fix everything. I mean, he came in. It's not like this dude came in for a half and threw for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did nothing.
Let's also talk about some veterans too that aren't playing up to par right now. He's one of my favorite guys, but DeMario Davis ain't playing up to par right now.
I mean, look, this last game, I'm going to say this. 2 guys to me brought it better than anybody else in this last game, and it was Taysom Hill and Carl Granderson. Outside of that, I saw mediocre efforts everywhere else in this field.
Listen, I'm not going to bitch about the defense because I'm 100% satisfied with what they put out.
Why do you give the defense a pass, though?
It's not a pass. They're not allowing more than 20 points.
Lattimore is not playing good. He's a lockdown. He's supposed to be a top 5 cornerback in this league, and he's not playing like it.
He's not. Absolutely not. And I mean, look, like Pancho, I agree with Pancho to an extent. I think the defense is overall playing good. But this back to the conversation I have. Robert Saleh has the Jets on the verge of they're on the verge of being an elite defense, and they don't have the talent that we have.
I agree, Dave, what you're saying about Saleh. But why can't we say this? Why can't Lattimore be that dog and say, I don't care what nobody else does on this defense. I'm locking my guy down.
Well, I think it all comes down to coaching and not having accountability. You think these guys will get away with this? And listen, I don't want a stupid comment about from anywhere. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but I don't want to hear what Sean Payton's doing in Denver. I'm talking about with the Saints, with a lot of these same guys. This is why I'm bringing up Sean Payton. We're with Sean Payton at one point or another. So here's my thing. You think Sean Payton would allow these type of stupid penalties, the offensive line play to be this piss poor, guys hot dogging on routes, corners barely running with receivers?
He's allowing it in Denver right now.
No, I mean, but I'm saying, here we go. We're talking about Denver. I'm talking about when he was. I don't care. I don't know what that guy did in his year off.
It's still Sean Payton.
No, but what I'm saying is the Sean Payton that we knew as a Saints fan. I don't care what he's doing in Denver, if he goes to Canada, wherever the hell he coaches in the future. I'm talking about when he was with the Saints during our glory days. That 15 years he was here. You think any of this shit would have been allowable?
I think a lot of it changed in the last couple of years of Sean Payton.
So look,
I don't think he had. I mean, let's be real. In 2021, he didn't have the horses. And he still won 8 games.
So
I mean,
the defense from first game they allowed 15 points. 17 points, 18 points. The one big game against the Bucks was 26 points, 0 points, and then 20 points last game.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not Dave. Pancho, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you on the points. But what I'm saying is, I know years past. I know one thing I can rely on. That Saints was not giving up a 50-yard rusher.
It's the points that matter, Richie.
I get it. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But it's just.
Yeah, look, I'm going to say this too. But here's my thing. Why not be? Here's the thing. I think this defense. Let's be real. Talent-wise, this defense has an ability to be elite. I mean, go look at. I think this could be like those Baltimore Ravens 49ers.
Do you agree with Lance? What Lance just said? He thinks Sean Payton He thinks Drew Brees made Sean Payton.
I mean, I think he had a lot to do with it. I mean, listen, man, I know the problem is we're looking at Denver and we're going to judge Peyton on everything with that. You
have to.
Oh no, but you got to give the guy time. He inherits a roster that I don't think was great.
Okay. You said give a guy time, right? You said give a guy time.
Mm-hmm.
There have been coaches that's been look what coaches have done in their first year. The last coaches they've made success.
So they have us at top 10. They have us at number 10 as a defense. Whatever this website is, got us at 10. Then they got.
I mean, look, we can't. I'm agreeing with you, Dave. We can't compare what's going on with Denver. Sean Payton
I'm just talking about the Sean Payton era Saints. I don't think he would allow this shit. I don't think there's any. What I'm getting at is there's no respect for Dennis Allen or Pete Carmichael like there was for Sean Payton.
No, there's a big difference when Sean Payton took over Saints than he did Denver. When he came here, there was more for him to play with and tinker with.
He cleaned house.
We didn't have $1 million quarterback.
We went to Denver. Their roster is 10 times better than what the Saints had.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But you can't say that. It's what he wants to do. You got to let it make it his image.
So
when he came to the Saints, he had more ways to do it. Denver, he's got already locked up with like $1 million quarterback, and he's got less options. Remember, he brought in Drew Brees. He's stuck with Russell Wilson.
Right. Exactly. No, that's a great point. Great point.
Bring up Chuck Thomas's comment about the coaching he just brought. That's a good point. That's a good comment right there. He says the coaching is the biggest. Look, read it.
So to me,
what's he said? I can't read. I'm from this point.
The personnel that Sean Payton took over at Denver, was probably a top 15 personnel.
I don't think.
Once again,
I don't buy it.
You got to understand, Sean Payton is not. He could just take talent. You have to make his talent around his system.
Right, it's got to fit his system. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think they're that good. I think.
Chuck,
They came out this week. They're a garage sale right now. He's ready.
They should be. Absolutely.
He don't want these guys. So you can say he's got a top 10 talent.
The players that he had that he took over this year is better than the first 2 years.
But is it better talent-wise, or is it better for him? There's a difference.
Right. I mean, look, Pancho had to something. I mean, but what's the difference, Pancho? If he took over, let's say they were lesser talented. But what's the difference? I mean, that proved that he was a damn good head coach to take a team that drafted number 2 overall and turn them into
for their talent.
But everybody wants to put Sean Payton on a pedestal. Y'all know we had some mediocre years.
I mean, we had some, but I mean, some of them weren't his fault. Remember, he got kicked for a year out by the league.
Mediocre year. We had a lot of average years. A lot.
I mean, I would say, what was there? I mean, under Payton, what was there? Maybe 300 or 400 or 500 years.
8-8, 7-9, 8.
Now, one of those. Remember,
9,
keep in mind, one of those wasn't his. Remember the stupid bounty thing. I mean, Aaron Cromer and Rick Venturi were fucking the team up all year that year. You know what I'm saying? Remember that. He got suspended for a whole year. What was that, 2012, 13, 14?
Listen, unfortunately, I will always say thank you to Sean Payton and Drew Brees for bringing the city a Super Bowl. In my eyes, I always thought Sean Payton was a little overrated. Sorry.
Sean Payton is probably going to get fired from Denver.
No.
When? No, not right now.
Then you know what?
I'll take that. In how long?
3 years.
And wait.
Well, I mean, we got to see 3 years. He ain't gonna get fired this year because he's got a free pass.
I'm gonna let you know now. So he's having a fire sale. So he's cutting all these. He's gonna cut. He cut Randy Gregory. They tied into money with him. Who's the other defensive lineman they just cut?
Frank Clark.
So they tied into that money. You know what their picks are next year? A third round, a 6th round, and a 7th round. got full.
Oh, he's gonna have his work cut out for him. There's no doubt about it. He needs to start trading guys and getting assets. Those receivers need to go. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Judy, they need to be tossed out
You're
next.
not getting assets, but you're not going to get any because you know it's a fire sale. So you're going to get.
Yep.
But the problem is still, team. You tell me a team though. Listen, I get what you're saying there. You got a motivated seller, so you're going to try to bring down the value.
You're still tied to Russell Wilson.
Well, no, but listen,
guys. We're getting away from some of these comments we missed.
What was his comment about the coaching thing from Chuck Thomas? What was that about?
I was trying to Fatty read it off. I can't get back to it.
Oh, Hall of Fame quarterbacks have made many coaches look good.
No, before that, I'm getting to it. Hold up.
I agree with that too. I mean, don't get me wrong, that helps. It definitely helps.
That one?
No, it was one before that.
I don't see it. Anything before that.
The coaching is the biggest detriment on this team. Second biggest is the O-line.
I completely fucking agree there. I think that's the two biggest problems. I mean, dude, listen, we could say what we want to say about Carr, man, but when Winston was in there, he showed the same thing. He was moving around a lot. This line does not protect. They do not run block consistently at all. I mean, Kamara had a few gash plays up the middle, but this team around the edge, I'll tell you this, if you ever watch her on the edge, how many times has the defensive end gotten into the backfield?
This is probably This is probably the worst O-line we've had in 15 years.
Absolutely. I don't know what in God's name happened to Ryan Ramczyk, who was one of the elite tackles in this league.
He left the game injured.
Yeah, he's banged up. I mean, Eric McCoy's making mistakes. Penning needs to be deported. James Hurst is terrible.
McCoy is horrible this year.
And that dude's one of the best centers in this league. That's the craziest thing. So something tells me somewhere, I think when Kamara and all these guys are saying that, listen, man, I know y'all, and I'm just going to say this. I think it's more the coaches than anything else. They are trying to get their coach fired almost.
Somebody said Carl this week looked like Manning running for his life in the 80s.
Well, who's that?
Somebody said Carl this week looked like Manning running for his life in the 80s.
Dude, let's be real. I know y'all aren't the biggest. I'm not saying I'm waving the flag for Carr, but I'm a little higher on the totem pole than what you guys are putting him. But I think, let's be real, we can't ignore how shitty this line is.
He's the only option. He's the best option for right now.
Why do you?
I think whether it's Winston, Taysom, whoever, nobody's going to do anything more than what he's doing.
Unless you're going to get one of the lower guys, the third string guy, and see what he can do. I mean,
and I don't know what Hayner's going to do, dude.
I'm not saying that Winston would do any better, but what's the point of having Winston then?
I mean, he's a backup quarterback. This is probably his last year here. He's a backup quarterback.
I think they're both going. I think they're going to clean house.
You can't get rid of Derek Carr, though. Derek Carr's here for another year.
Listen, we're talking about draft picks, and Pancho brought up great points with Denver's first pick is in the third round. Chicago is making out big.
Oh, absolutely. And look how fucked up Carolina. Sorry for my language, but look how Carolina's a shit show.
They're going to possibly have the number 1 and number 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah, and then they already have a young quarterback in house, so they got all the options in the world right now.
No, they're getting rid of Fields. Is gone.
I mean, he could be absolutely. I'm not saying he can't be, but I'm saying that's what I mean. But you still got a 24-year-old quarterback, whatever he is.
Yeah,
in house.
Look. We talked about Saints. Let's dive into some LSU football, man. We owe it to them. Let's do it. What y'all think about the game? Did you watch it? I think Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in college football right now. I think he deserves to be the number 1 Heisman candidate right now. There's no doubt about it. I want your thoughts on it. What you think? If you watch the game, let me know. What you think, Dave?
So what you want? You want Burns to Caleb Williams jersey?
Huh?
Who's that?
You Burns to Caleb Williams jersey already?
No, indeed not.
You got you ordered a Buffaloes jersey too, or what?
No, I did not.
No, he ordered the Deion Sanders cowboy hat.
I tell you, man, y'all joking, but no matter, I'm telling you right now, I don't think Caleb's coming out this year. I really don't.
He probably not. He's making millions of dollars.
Listen,
yeah.
So I'm gonna do this.
I mean, why leave Los Angeles making millions of dollars as a 21-year-old kid or whatever he is?
Don't get it twisted. I think Jalen Daniels is playing the best quarterbacking, but I think Dave would agree with me. Caleb Williams is going to be the number 1 pick.
Oh, no doubt about it. Jaden might not be. And look, Daniels will probably be the 3rd or 4th quarterback taken.
Somewhere in there. I'll take Jaden Daniels would say.
No, I would. I'm no offense to him.
What you said, Pancho? I'm sorry.
Dave's going to buy you the cowboy hat and prom glasses.
You better not. I'll never wear that. You ain't got to. I promise you, I ain't got nothing prime or Atlanta in my closet.
Hey, Halloween's not far away, man. You know? Shit.
Oh,
I'll tell you one thing, man.
Hey, Dave,
goddamn.
listen. Why they got a couple of my friends in here that went to the game Sunday night? They went to the Astros game. What happened there, man?
Woo, man! I'll tell you one thing. I really dig that series right now. And you know, I don't like the Astros. I'm sorry. I know Chris, our buddy Knowles, knows that.
Yeah.
Ever since what happened in 2017, I've got zero respect for baseball when it comes to, and I love baseball, but that 2017 title should be stripped. And I'm sure an Astro fan's gonna be pissed with me, but a lot of Astro fans I know agree with it. Last year they did their thing; they won the championship.
Yeah.
But 2017 was one of the worst cheating events in any sport in history, and it should be. You know, they should have an asterisk or have that title removed.
Yeah, I want to get your opinion on that. Now look,
great series though, and look, Rangers and Astros, great series.
The cork bat.
The cork bats. I mean, Pete Rose. I mean, look, Pete Rose can be banned for life, but these guys just get off free.
That's ridiculous that Pete Rose has not been eligible for the Hall of Fame.
There was never any evidence that he betted against himself. And to me, if you didn't bet against yourself and lose a game on purpose, then there's no reason. If you bet on your team, who gives a shit? You know?
Ridley. I mean, look at Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 1 year suspension. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Ridley. How does this happen? Jameson Williams. These guys come right back. Pete Rose, one of the best ever, is banned from the game for life.
I wanna address something that people, of course, inbox me today because they want to talk about it, of course. And yes, my Trojans got their butt whipped. They did. I said, Dave, you're my witness. I said they didn't deserve to be where they was at. I said it for weeks.
Dude, those condoms are going to start being named Buffaloes in the next year or so, man.
But what happened? What happened to y'all Buffaloes?
Hey, I hear you, man. I'm not a big look, man. I'm happy the Green Wave keeps playing pretty well. I'll say that.
Pancho, come on, we ain't letting you up the hook. What happened to your Buffaloes?
They packed it in. I mean, it was up 29-0 and came in to pack. I mean, again, Richie, you're dealing with a team that all the spotlight is on them.
But let's Fatty made a comment several weeks ago. They're getting full of themselves, and they have reports of Shadur Sanders showing off endorsements at halftime and this and that, and doing commercials at halftime. Who does that?
And I agree. You know, that's a shit. No, I agree with that. I agree. I think it's kind of sucks that they did get a little too big for their bridges.
Man, for making $1.
Why can't you? Absolutely, you can.
That's a hater. That's a hating. You can't hate.
Yeah, I mean, look. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, I guess I agree with that. I mean, look, whatever he's doing, I don't think Shadur Sanders is effing it up for his team. I think it's a lot of things.
Skid Row in Los Angeles, fucking hitting up a line.
I can promise you one thing. If that would have been Nick Saban's watch, that kid would have been gone the next day.
The game has changed, bro.
I'm saying Nick Saban, that kid would have been gone.
The game has changed.
Okay.
It's changing.
No, I mean, look, Richie, and it's weird because sports are evolving, man. You know.
Go ahead, Fatty. You talking? We can't hear you. Fatty, you got your own mic on.
Wait, Fatty's on?
He's muted.
I don't hear. Wait, what's
No, I was going to say, I mean, to do it during halftime, that shows disrespect to your team and your coach. I'm sorry. That's not
and that's
new.
a personal opinion.
But it goes back to what Jason Whitlock said. It's not about the players, no, it's about their brand. And this, I mean, as much as people, dude, no one's going to believe me.
Dude, look at Shaq.
I told Easy this 15 years ago at the store. I'm like, dude, the NFL is dying a slow death.
Yeah,
I think it all starts up top. I really think when Paul Tagliabue left, the product definitely started falling off.
When I just seen the number that somebody just bought the Washington Commodores, whatever you want to call them, for $7 billion, and you tell me the game is deteriorating.
Okay, Pancho, so you agree with that?
The quality of play, the quality of play.
Everything else will walk away.
So Pancho, it's a business. So you agree? So you agree with the NFL going to create a Swifties jersey, NFL jersey, and sell it?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's a money, Richie. It's a money print machine, no doubt. I mean, the quality of play, I think, has tapered off, but the money machine factor is going up.
I gave him a nickname, bro. What? He came with a nickname, Trailer.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
I like it, man.
That's what Candy and Dawn.
Unfortunately, I agree.
And I said Trailer. And
unfortunately, I agree with Whitlock, with Fatty shared, and honestly, I hate to say it because I truly love the NFL, but I think honestly, I'll probably stop watching sports.
People will start walking away. Not a lot, but little by little, all the time. Watch.
So
happens
here's the question.
To everything. It happens to
look,
you can only go so high.
Pancho, perfect example. Fatty used to be one of the biggest NFL fans. He's no longer that guy no more.
Look, college too. I love college, and now the NIL, the transportal, it killed it for me. I walked away. I don't care anymore.
So listen, so the NFL is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Is college changing also?
Yes,
absolutely.
All the divisions are getting clamped down on. Teams are leaving divisions. Players are getting money. Utah gave their whole team a damn truck, a brand new truck.
In 10 years, let me tell you how much has changed. In 10 years, when's the last time you seen one team ranked in the top 10 AP from the SEC? Only one. When's the last time you seen that?
I'm not going that route, but so college is changing.
College is simple, Pancho. It's a direct effect.
It's a direct going to decline
with them to make that money also.
And that's the problem right there. You made my point for me. You're saying they're making that money when they're going to start losing fucking focus on the game and they're going to play like shit. And it's going to be like, yo, fuck this. I don't need this shit no more. I'm out. That's how it works with every fucking thing in life.
Yeah. No, and I agree. Baseball and NBA both had this problem years ago. You started getting guys making these asinine salaries. Owners started handing out money like it was water. And then the product, listen, man, it's a transition, I think, in football going on right now, just like in basketball and baseball.
Look, too much greed in sports. Another viewer says.
Absolutely. I'll say this, though. Baseball right now is headed in a better direction than it's been. Well, the last maybe 6 or 7 years in baseball, I would say right around the time the Cubs won the World Series, maybe a little before that. NBA, to me, is getting better as LeBron's getting older, in my opinion. I think most of the LeBron era was pretty soft. I think right now there's more parity in NBA. I think NBA and baseball are trending up. I think football is continuing to make a ton of money, but the overall product, to me, is trending slightly down.
So
the problem, here's the problem. The players and the relationship between players and the fan is so divided now. It used to be the working man cheering for something they can, get their mind off of. Now, when you watch it, you got to be reminded how much fucking money they got and how shitty your life is. Who wants to see that shit?
Nobody.
I don't.
I don't.
Even with fucking wrestling, the way I like wrestling, I got to hear about them bitching and moaning because they're not getting enough TV fucking time.
It's falling off, dude. Yeah.
Any hobby that you inquire is going to cost money. If it's watching football or watching sports, if it's watching movies, like they're making millions of dollars and you're making scum. So anything you do, there's always going to be that difference.
I agree with that.
You know what? The NFL is always going to make money because they're going to jack the price. It's always going to come back on the fans. The fans are going to pay the fucking bill. It ain't because of merchandising. It's going to be because of ticket sales, and you going there and paying $15 for a fucking beer that costs $1 at the local corner store.
He's speaking facts, Pancho. He's speaking facts.
That's why they're making fucking money. They're making money because they're fucking popular. They're making money because they're juicing all of y'all out your fucking money for overpriced bullshit.
How much are the tickets in this game in Houston, guys? What was the ticket prices?
I get that, but with your hobby, so you bought a prom, your little thing, one of your little toy figures.
Probably
cost $200 something, right?
$800.
$800 a toy.
What is that? What are we talking about?
I'm not mad because I got $1,000 Zion.
Okay, now here's the thing. I know where you're going to go with this, but that was one purchase, one time. Y'all, I'm not saying y'all, but fans are doing this shit every week.
Listen,
so that's way more.
Listen, let me tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what.
I paid $225 straight from the Houston Texans for an ADA seat in the 600 level. $225 per ticket.
Per ticket?
An ADA seat in the 600 level. When the seat, the seat next to me, where they actually have the rows for people to sit in, costs $80.
Wow.
So I paid $220, and that's directly from the franchise.
Well, let me tell you what. I
didn't buy off the market, so
I'll give you what
$220, and I was in the corner of the end zone on the 600s. I called and. If you go look at every other game,
but Fatty, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you on Fatty on certain things, but it's not just sports. It's music,
no, it's everything.
Concerts,
Yeah.
it's wrestling.
You're right. Like I said, the fan and the celebrity or whoever it is so far apart now.
Listen, to tell you a quick story.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
Listen, I quit. I had my first alcohol beverage in the Superdome 15 years ago. I paid $5 for a beer.
What's a beer now? 15?
Wait, like 10 or something?
How much, Pancho?
He's like $12.50.
What?
So $12.50 for a beer.
It's
And
double.
look,
It's double.
and Fatty, I agree with what Fatty's saying. And I understand Fatty's frustration. But look, real quick, guys, I want to say this. I think, and I get both sides of it. I see what Pancho's saying. I see what Fatty's saying. And I'm just going to throw this. Okay, as a passionate fan, I grew up. Cubs were, to me, even more important than the Saints growing up, okay? So I'm going to tell you, and here's the thing about it. When they're shitty, the tickets were a little – I mean, Wrigley Field's always expensive, but they were a little more moderately priced. When the Cubs were, like, about to take off to this – they were building this championship caliber team, the vibe was hot. It was like they could charge whatever they want. I paid for a bleacher ticket to go with the family. I was paying for, like, I want to say it was like 5 tickets total that we got. We spent almost $700 for that game to sit in the bleachers the summer of 2016, the year they eventually won the World Series, because the product was that hot. The year afterwards, the prices were real similar. Now you could go Google prices, and they've come down. So I guess what I'm getting at is it's all about where a team is at that moment. Like Saints tickets. Pancho used to sell Saints tickets on the second level, you know, on the what they call it, the secondary market. Pancho would be able to get, when Drew Brees was here, you could get 3 times the value. Right now, you can't get shit for those tickets now in the secondary market.
Ryan,
I have 11 season tickets. 11.
Right, but I'm saying, but what you could have sold those tickets for in 2010 or 2011 as opposed to what you're selling for now as far as percentage value over.
To give you an idea, Ryan, who I was with in Houston this weekend, he just posted it. He bought 5 beers and a bag of peanuts. It was $100.
That's fucking insane. And I mean, but I'm saying is, like, I guess with ticket prices, it's all about the market pricing. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're in Beverly Hills, you're gonna pay more for a hot dog than you will in the middle of like a town in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the market dictates things. Like when a team's hot, when we had Drew Brees, Sean Payton, we're winning, you know, every year. You know, we're getting deep in the playoffs every year. The ticket prices are like Pancho could probably make, you know, $300 off a $100 ticket. Now, a $100 ticket, he might lose $10 or $15 on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
selling it on the secondary market.
I mean, you know,
so in 2006, when we first became season ticket holders, my ticket was $225 per seat for the whole season. Now I pay exactly I pay $500 per ticket.
Right.
So
I mean, inflation, I mean, shit goes up over time. The league keeps jumping up pricing. But I mean, like, I guess what I'm saying, like, the popularity of the ticket.
19 years, it doubled.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no doubt. But I mean, the weird thing is, like you're saying, though, but the market, I think, like, it gets crazy, man. Like this Houston Saints game, like you're saying, Pancho, it was $80-something tickets. They knew New Orleans is 5 hours away. They knew the Saints fans were going to go take that bitch over to a certain degree. So those prices got jacked through the freaking roof. You know,
every other ticket, every other game for them after this is $50. But
absolutely.
At one point, they wanted to sell me a $150 ticket like 2 weeks ago, but they wanted me to pay for an extra game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
that sucks.
But you know,
the Saints game is $150.
But you know what?
They wanted me to pay an extra $50 for another game. I'm like, I only want one game.
But you know,
they're taking advantage of the situation.
You know what we also missing in this whole big picture? And the NFL claims to care about its community so much. You know, they do the pink for October. They do the military for November. What about the players? How much are they involved in these nonprofits? How much are they giving back? Because I don't see hardly any of them anymore.
Nothing. They don't do shit.
I mean, do you see?
I would say there's probably a few select guys. I mean,
listen, guys,
you know, but
we're an hour and 20 in. Let's go on to Thursday night game. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, we got to talk about this game, man.
I'm going to duck out. Y'all go ahead and do what y'all got to do.
All right. Look. We'll dive into it right quick, y'all.
Let's get 10 minutes on it. 10 minutes.
I think that's good. I think what you brought up earlier was a good point, Pancho. I think it's a short week. I think, Dave, you said it earlier. I think they would have brought in kickers if it wouldn't have been a short week. I think I think up until this point we was all rooting for, but Groupie's been a disappointment.
Yeah,
I mean, this line ain't getting better within 4 days.
And you got a guy on the other side named Josh Allen who's got 7 sacks this year. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league.
It's about to eat our lunch.
You got to keep an eye on that guy. If you don't stop him, the game's over automatically. I mean, you got to stop him. And I'm gonna tell you, this is I said it before. I know we kind of combated it a little bit, debated it, or whatever you want to call it. about their pass catchers. This is the best group of pass catchers we faced all season by a wide margin. And when I mean that, the running back can catch the ball, ATN. You got Evan Ingram's probably a top 5 or 6 tight end. You got Kirk, Ridley, and Zay Jones as a trio. Pretty good trio. Not the best trio, but damn good trio.
Christian Kirk is sneaky good, man.
He is. He's very dangerous. And Ridley's a little bit of a problem, too. And I mean,
What's
and
up,
then you
Shane?
forget Ingram plays like a wide receiver. So, I mean, you got to keep him honest. You can't cover Evan Ingram with Pete Warner and DeMario all game. You're going to have to put a DB on.
Dude, you're going to have to score at least 21 to 24 points to even be in this game.
I agree. I agree with that.
And
I agree.
Pancho, you just said a minute ago the Saints keep everybody under 20 points. You got to keep them under 20.
Okay, so we had the 10th best defense. They had the 9th best defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
No, it's not. And I think what this game comes down to, I mean, obviously we can say, hey, protect the quarterback, but I think you've got to. I know Carr's got to be more efficient in the red zone, no doubt about it. Pete Carmichael's got to dial up the right plays, or else his job might not be there too much longer.
To that point, Dave, I trust Doug Peterson more than I do any coaching on our staff.
No, Peterson, I feel we're already out coached. It feels like we're down a field goal already because of that, or a touchdown. But you've got to run the ball. You've got to listen. If Jamal Williams is coming back, there's got to be a combination of Taysom Hill with Alvin Kamara with Jamal Williams. You got to pound the ball. You got to keep Trevor Lawrence off the field. And I made a point. Lawrence only has like a touchdown or 2 more than Carr right now, so he's not exactly destroying shit. But there's a lot of potential there with this offense. You can't keep them on the field. You got to limit their time of possession in this game.
Let's be honest here, guys. I mean, we all Saints fans. We want our team to win. I don't see how the Saints win this game.
I think listen, you guys are going to the game. Crowd has to listen. You got to grab momentum early. You've got to establish the run. You got to get some sacks on Trevor Lawrence early, rattle him a little bit. What do you think, Pancho? Crowd has to get into it, man. Primetime game.
I mean, let's be realistic. Don't just say as a fan, say it as an analyst.
Oh, it's a winnable game. I think we could listen, man. I think the coaches are our biggest problem. I'll say this in the O-line. The O-line has to stop Josh Allen, and we can't do stupid shit.
Go ahead.
This game is going to be groupy.
It could come down to it, man. And I mean, if that kid misses another big field goal, he's probably done.
Because now, listen, Derek Carr is not putting up touchdowns, so we're relying on field goals right now. And if your field goal kicker can't make field goals, dude, you're in trouble.
But your play calling has got to get better towards the end zone.
Dave, if you got
to execute. But here's my thing:
if you got 4 dudes wide and you're reading 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you throw it to the wrong guy, that's your fault.
I mean, I get where. I mean, I don't know if he's always throwing it to the wrong guy. I don't think that's for us to make that call. I think the problem is.
Listen, the play calling rests on running plays, basically. On passing plays, that's on the quarterback. The quarterback is executing.
I don't believe it. I think play calling is important both sides.
He's not calling and you say, "Hey, drop down to AK."
So let me ask you this. Okay, so I got a good question for you. Okay, so let's be real.
Wait. Carmichael's not in Derek Carr's ear saying throw it to Taysom Hill every time. He's not in his ear saying to throw it to Mike Thomas every time. He's not in his ear saying last.
Pancho, he completed. How many different
20 times?
But how many different? Listen,
that is Derek Carr's decision. That's his decision.
Now, I understand that, but I'm saying that here's the problem is.
Go ahead.
So
let him respond, Pancho.
Wait, I gotta finish. So handing the ball off to a running back, that's play calling. Having Taysom Hill at quarterback on 1st and 10, that's play calling. Having Derek Carr try to hand the ball off on 3rd and 1 instead of Taysom Hill not getting the ball, that's play calling. When you drop back and pass the ball, that's quarterback problem.
So you're telling me this? Okay, so you're saying right now, offensive coordinator has nothing to do with the passing game. I think that's fucking insane. I think that makes zero sense whatsoever.
Pass the ball and execute.
Okay, so let me ask you this. All right, so hear me out. Let me go. Man, I could spend a whole hour on this subject alone, but here we go. So you tell me with Pete Carmichael, knowing your offensive line is absolute dog shit, steaming dog shit, you sit there and you don't run plays where you can maybe take advantage. See, Pancho, I can't get out.
Let him finish.
Pancho, you ran and rambled for 10 minutes, dude. Listen, here's my thing. You're telling me you got an offensive coordinator who knows his offensive line sucks dog shit, okay? You're telling me you're running 4 patterns 15 yards beyond the first down marker. You tell me with 30 seconds left in the game, with a timeout at the 30-yard line, you can run something in the middle of the field. You don't run one play in the middle of the field. You're running the same damn plays 3 or 4 straight times. Yep. You don't get any chunk yardage plays. Listen, dude, to me, here's my thing. the playbook has to be designed for the passing game as much as anything. I mean, I don't believe that the quarterback. It's not on the quarterback on the passing plays.
Not to
the
cut you off,
offensive coordinator has to be accountable there.
Not to cut you off, Lance disagreed with you. He said we don't use the middle of the field enough.
We don't. We absolutely don't. And here's my thing. You had a timeout in hand. It takes about 6 or 7 seconds per pass play in this league. You're already practically in the red zone. You could have ran anything in the middle of the zone. You run the same bullshit.
So Dave, is it fair to say that you can put 50-50 for Carmichael and Carr?
I mean, Carr's got to be a little bit better, no doubt about it. But, I mean, Pete Carmichael, dude, here's my thing. On 3rd and 6, why are you throwing a screen pass to Alvin Kamara behind the line of scrimmage on the far side of the field where the defense has all the opportunity in the world to get to the football? That's a stupid-ass play. There was another play. What was it, the 4th down call? Who the hell thought that was a good idea? No one. Dude, the problem is if I can look at 4 or 5 coaching plays per half and say, damn, what the fuck is this guy thinking? That's a major problem.
Here's my take on it. Listen, I'm not going to say. Listen, I listen to both of you. Here's my take on it. I think I'm agreeing with the Carmichael take. Reason being, I don't think he's calling the right plays based on the protection of this line.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to call more quicker patterns. There's got to be. You can't run guys downfield on verticals. You got to call some slants. You got to call some outs in the 5-yard range.
I agree with Pancho too. You got to execute, but
you got to execute. But the plays have to be there.
We can't call a go route, and you don't have the line to protect the quarterback.
A coach's job, Richie, is to put your team in the best position possible to win. When you know you're lacking something, you can't try to force it.
On stats, we're the 21st worst O-line. 21st.
We agree with you.
I mean, it's bad.
We agree with you, Pancho, but you can't call 100 million go routes and your line.
You got to run something underneath.
There's routes that are being wrong. You got to
let me tell you.
That guy.
Let me tell you. Let me give you an example of what Dave's trying to say. When I went out, left tackle went out of this game. Do you know what the next play call was?
It was
a 40-yard pass down the field. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
There's no timing. There's no flow. There's no flow. Flow is a key word to me. There's no flow to the play call.
You know why? Listen, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Do you know why the 49ers took it to the Dallas Cowboys last week? You know why? Because Kyle Shanahan put his team in the best position. Mm-hmm. They ran directly at Michael Parsons.
Yeah, and that's a goal. It's a strategy. Your play caller can craft you a strategy that puts you ahead in this game.
He knew he couldn't drop back with Purdy 30 times and throw the ball with Parsons coming bearing down on him.
Absolutely. Your offensive coordinator has to be responsible, man, for a lot of this. I mean, if Carr's coming in completing 50% of his passes, throwing a ton of picks, it's on Carr.
Yeah. I don't want you to think Pancho out of the
We don't have the worst O-line in the league. We have a middle.
You're pretty damn. I mean, you're in the bottom tier. I mean,
but you're not the Jaguars has a worse O-line than us too. So I mean,
yeah, but I mean,
Houston Texans has a worse. Houston Texans is 23. Statistically have a worse O-line than we do.
Well, no, I think we can all agree we didn't get a pass rush on him this week. I mean, Cam Jordan has played bad this year.
And I think some of it goes on coaching, Richie. I saw you allow the rookie quarterbacks to get very comfortable.
Why in the hell is Breezy off the field so much? I don't understand that neither.
I don't agree with that at all either. I don't think that's a good, smart move keeping this guy off. I mean, this guy's a force inside. I mean, he should be as many plays as he's capable of out there. I mean,
all right. Well, listen. Let's dive into the last part of this. Go ahead and give me a pick, Dave, for this Thursday's game.
I'm going to say this, man, and this is what I feel. If we lose convincingly, I think somebody's fired. I will say that. I think this is the week it could happen.
Yep.
But I'm going to say this. I have a weird feeling this is the Saints. After Drew Brees retired, they'll find a way somehow to squeak this one out of their ass and win with like a field goal. I think they'll actually win this. And I mean, dude, I know I haven't predicted a loss yet this season, and I don't think I'm going to predict it. I tell you, I want to predict a loss. I really do. But I think just knowing them, they save Allen and Carmichael one more week. And I think they win by like 3.
What you got, Pancho?
Man, like I'm going to the game, but it's bad. I mean, dude, if Carr don't produce, at what point do you say take a fucking seat, bro. Let's see what else we got. I mean, you can't keep going the way you're going, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it bad play calling. You can call it bad execution. You can call it bad defense. You call it whatever the F you want to call it. But again, the results have to change, and they have to change now. You can't wait to the following week and just hope something catches on, or wait to the next week and hope something catches on, or something like it's not there. Nothing is coming to fruition. There's no numbers being put up. The only numbers being put up is L's, and
that's on your coaching
to at least make some noise, and not be a doink, a brick,
So what you got to score?
Listen, you can point fingers. Derek Carr can point fingers to the coach, to the offensive coach. He can call to the play caller. You can point it. Eventually, you got to look in the mirror and say, "Look, I'm not getting it done," because he's not. If you can say that man's getting that job done, I don't know. You might want to convince Joe Biden.
So what you got? Score you got, Pancho?
I mean, you got to at least score 24 because Jaguars are going to put up some points.
All right. So what's the score? Give it to me.
I mean, if we score less than 20, we lose. If we score more than 20, we win. I'm going to put it like that.
Well, listen.
And Richie, I'm gonna say this: the way we win, real quick, like I said, it's got to be you got to run the football. You got to run the ball, control the flow, control the tempo of this game. If you don't run the ball, if you become one-dimensional and you allow Josh Allen to come after Carr all game, you're in trouble. You got to get pressure on Trevor Lawrence as well. We need 3 or 4 sacks in this game. No less.
I tell you, I'm at a loss for words because it's more hurting than anything because I believe everybody knows, everybody jokes about my jerseys and stuff. I get it. But Pancho, for a fact, I believe black and gold, man. I'm as diehard as they come. But it's I'm to the point to where I'm losing faith. I really am. It's disappointing. I think this is an aging team. I think this is a team that's not playing with any energy right now. And if you ask me my honest opinion, just based on right now, what I've seen, this isn't a very good team. It's not.
No.
The talent's there, but they're not playing as a team.
All right.
Lots of mistakes.
You want more rushes. You got AK last game with 19 carries.
Mm-hmm.
How many more do you want him to have?
Who else carried the ball in that game? Taysom twice. Kendrick Miller once. I mean,
you only get 65, 70 plays a game.
I want to run the ball 25 to 30 times easily in this game.
I'm agreeing with Pancho. There's no way the Saints can let them score more than 20 and win this game. It's not going to happen.
And the best way of doing it is keeping them off the field. And you know what I'm saying? Not giving – listen, dude, the offense is functioning to a certain degree because you only punted 3 times this past game, and you haven't been punting a lot. It's not like giving a bunch of 3 and out.
Listen, but at what point we
there's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes.
We put in blame on coaches. I think it's a lot to do with coaching. I think it's a lot to do with play calling. But at what point are we going to say we're just not a good team?
Hey, look,
if these trends keep showing, I'll say that, Richie. If we keep doing what we did this past week, then yeah.
It's 70%. It's 70% Carr's fault, 30% Pete Carmichael's fault.
I think that's insane. I think that's insane.
And from what you've seen, can you honestly say that you think Lattimore is playing up to his capabilities?
Yeah, he is. Because you look.
Pancho, you must be on that good tonight, man.
Pancho, I don't think. Listen to me.
Wait, listen. How many yards did C.J. Stroud throw for Sunday?
He didn't throw for a lot, but the point I'm trying to make is
you go with stats. You go with stats.
I don't listen. I'm not saying he's playing like shit, but I don't think he's playing the maximum of his ability.
Lattimore's giving up. Listen. Lattimore's giving up more yards than any cornerback on our team this year.
No, I don't believe that.
Yes. Yardage wise, Lattimore has given up more yardage than any cornerback on our team. Not catches, yardage.
There's one game he gave up 6. There was one game he gave up 9.
And he was getting cooked by Mike. He was getting cooked by Mike Evans before Mike Evans got hurt. That's a fact. We all know that.
Let me ask you this. I got to wonder about this about LaMarshawn Lattimore. Why every week is this guy not guarding the best receiver on the opposing team?
Dennis Allen.
Exactly. So I mean, we could sit there and say, "Hey, Derek Carr, 70% my ass." I'm saying 70% on coaching because I think your coaches are fucking terrible.
What's up, Jay?
Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael will not have jobs anywhere else once
What's
this
up,
tenure
Fatty?
ends with the Saints.
CJ Stroud.
DA will be a defensive coordinator. Pete Carmichael will be out of the league.
What you said?
CJ Stroud has 9 TDs, 1 interception all year, 1,600 yards.
And I mean, let's be real. And Fatty, let me ask you this. Okay, and we're watching this guy. We had 177 yards, had 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say this. I think his play caller put him in a better situation towards the red zone. I'm just saying, when you're driving up and down field and the field shrinks towards the red zone, that's where your play calling has to be a little more. Let's be real. The field's
like
shorter.
Play
Your play calling has to get
right
a
all
little
year
bit
for
better.
him.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, it looks like his play calling's been great for him all year.
I think it has been great. I think, and that was my point about Teddy Bridgewater. 9 touchdowns in 5 games with Sean Payton. He had 15 the whole year as a starter in Carolina after that.
Yep.
I'm just saying, play calling does
right.
matter.
All right,
It matters.
fellas. Look, let's sign off. Thank everybody for joining us tonight, man. Look, it's as always a great show. We're gonna dive into more. We'll catch up. We'll talk. Look, we're gonna do a show after the Saints game this week. We'll figure it out. Pancho, Dave, Fatty, we'll figure out when we can come on. You know, look, we had some great takes tonight. Everybody don't agree with it, but at least people's opinions.
But no,
you know.
I'm glad we don't, man. Because I mean, look, we could be like other shows and just kiss each other's ass. But we, you know, I mean, I agree with shit Pancho says. Some shit I don't agree. Same with you, Rich. You know, what I mean, same with Knowles.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, we went on Tyreek Hill for about an hour last time. Y'all were killing me on Tyreek Hill. I felt like Jodie Foster in The Accused. I mean,
Well,
it
look,
was crazy, man.
Glad to have you back, Pete. Hope you're in good health, my friend. You know that.
I love
catch
y'all.
up.
Listen, I love y'all like Jada Pinkett Smith loves Will.
Peace out, fellas. Who that?
All right, man. Y'all be
Later.
good.